Welcome back. The Herd is coming up next right here on FS1. Doug Gottlieb is in for Colin. Hey, Doug, what is on the show today?
Well, I think we'll be talking about LeBron James and how he is perceived, or maybe how he misperceives himself. Boy, David Griffin did some talking, and it seems like he's actually quoting LeBron James. Get to that at the top of the hour.
Interesting. Thank you, Doug. Time for our final topic of the day. There's a big new rule in the NFL with teams now allowed to challenge pass interference. We saw it in action for the first time last night when a Broncos defensive back was called for pass interference. Denver challenged the call, but it was upheld. Shannon, what was your reaction to this?
Well, Skip, this was easy. I mean, this is not the Saints rule. If the flag had been thrown in New Orleans, this would be a moot point. It's when there is no flag thrown that you get the challenge. That's going to be the hard part. This was a very easy. This was a no-brainer right here. I mean, I think Coach Fangio just wanted to challenge, say, well, I'm the first guy to ever do this. But, Skip, what's going to be hard is that when there's no flag thrown, you think you're getting off the field on 3rd down or 4th down, and all of a sudden, here comes the challenge flag, and I want to challenge a play over here on the side that nobody saw. That's going to be the headache.
So, by the way, you went into the Hall of Fame where you're about to go now, but you went in as a Denver Bronco, correct? And your new Denver Bronco coach last night embarrassed himself and maybe the organization because I loved the new rule, the new capability to challenge. I did not love the first ever challenge. And maybe Coach Fangio was having trouble with his kidney stone because he was suffering that last night. I don't know. Maybe it affected his thinking pattern because the Denver DB is holding his jersey. He's got his left hand up and is tugging on the jersey. What are you talking about? It was the most blatant, I'm not going to challenge this kind of call you could ever have because it was blatant pass interference. And it stood, you know, why would you even slow down the game for that?
I thought it was going to be the offensive guy that challenged Skip because all of a sudden there was no flag when I think it was interference. I thought the offense would throw it. Why would you challenge?
I don't know.
So obvious.
I don't know. Guys. I'm embarrassed for your Denver Broncos,
that is it
the
for
new
us.
coach.
We'll be back Monday morning at 9:30 Eastern. Right now, Doug tells you why LeBron is in more trouble than he is worth. The Herd starts right now.
He was without a job. He's working for NBA TV. Rob, why didn't he say that then? Why did he say that LeBron James had brought into the culture and that he won and you can win with a guy like that? See, I'm a guy, if I got something to say to you, I bet you $5 to a bucket of bull jive. I say it to your face. I ain't gonna wait till I'm away from you and to say this. You know exactly how Shannon Sharp feels about basically everyone. I don't get behind no closed doors and say I'm taken out of context. No, this is how I feel. The man, hold on. When he didn't get the contract extension, LeBron James tweeted, I appreciate you, Griff, even if no one else does. His wife tweeted 43 million Twitter followers about the winery, the vineyard, or whatever his wife had. Talked glowing praise about Griff. Gave him a recommendation. And this is the things that we get. No good deed goes unpunished.
Shannon, do you want people to be honest? I mean, and talk about it in life. I think sometimes
I want LeBron to be honest and say
sometimes it's not always as pretty as you think it is. And yes, they won a championship.
I want Bron to be honest and say, you know what? Griff was terrible. The only reason guys came was because of me. Because do you know what Griff was before? First of all, Griff got the job because Chris Plant got fired. Let's be real. We're going to get an opportunity to find out just how good of a general manager that he is. Now, you know the standard is, if he doesn't win a championship, now what, Rob? What are you going to say then? Oh, at least he's happy. I'd rather be happy than win. Is that what you're going to say, Rob?
I'm not going to say that. It's about winning. It is about winning.
Okay.
By the way, Shannon Sharp, today you're hiding in a little box, so you're not saying it to our face. You're hiding in your little box. Where are you when we need you? Up here.
I'll be back Monday.
Yeah, okay. So you don't have the guts to say it to our face. You have to hide in your little box. Now, back to Jenny's question. Do I have a problem with David? No, I don't have a problem. I've been saying the same things for years on television that he said in this article. I co-sign on all the points he made. LeBron wants all the credit, you know, none of the blame, zero part of the blame. And again, has LeBron lost his zest for winning? Is he the winning animal he used to be in Cleveland before they broke through and got lucky and Draymond got suspended and they came from 3-1 down to win that championship for Cleveland? Nope, he's not been the same since then to me. But again, David said it. And where I'm going to have a huge problem is if he has a big press conference and says, I didn't say that, I didn't say that, and I didn't say that. Or that's out of context, which I never quite understand because these quotes just stand alone.
I know. I don't. What context do you need? That he was miserable,
it's hard.
right?
Okay.
That word says a lot.
Skip, it's like Charles Barkley being misquoted in his autobiography.
Right.
Yeah.
How you get
He did say that.
He did say it.
He did say that. So we also might hear, and I'm not casting any aspersions on the young SI writer who conducted the interview and wrote the piece, but we might hear, I thought some of that was off the record. Well, then you said it, and it got into print. Whose fault is that? The one thing I always loved about Jerry Jones, we spoke of in our last topic, was I did 3 books that heavily involved Jerry Jones. I spent literally hundreds of hours hanging out with him, just interviewing him.
Sure.
Sometimes I was taking notes, sometimes I was taping, and sometimes we were just talking. Jerry made it clear to me, whatever comes out of his mouth is quotable. Like nothing is off the record. I'll just talk. Well, you got to respect that. And David Griffin, I think, is not a good talker. I think he's a great interview. And when he gets wound up and gets rolling, maybe he thought some of it was just in idle conversation with the writer that he was...
But you're talking to a writer. You know what I mean?
You've been there 1,000 times.
It's a hard position to be in.
Okay, there you go.
But the things that he talked about... Go ahead, Shannon. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, but Skip, he better not say he thought he was being off the record because then context does not matter.
Nope.
Because you thought you was off the record, that's why you're saying you're trying to add context after the fact.
Yep.
And you're not going to be able to do that.
You're better off not having a press conference and just leaving it as it stands.
There you go.
But the stuff that he talked about, and this is LeBron, every time he loses, he doesn't have help. How can you expect him to win? No matter what they brought along, he doesn't have help. The other part, the Hollywood part, and LeBron said it himself. When he won the championship, remember on the tape, he said, that's when I became the GOAT. He basically said he was done, like that was his crowning moment. And when he came here, Skip, on this very show, what did I say? I said he came to L.A. to be Meryl Streep. He came here for the Hollywood part of it. It wasn't about basketball. But no, because, Shannon, this is the first time he came without a team in place. You remember, this was not LeBron. LeBron has never done that.
Let me ask you a question, Rob. David Griffin said he's a different animal. He doesn't have the same. But when they traded Kyrie and David Griffin was no longer the general manager, can you tell the people where LeBron James ended up at, Rob Parker?
What do you mean, where'd he end up? What, in the finals?
Oh, in the finals.
Yeah,
but he's not that same animal.
In the easy Eastern Conference, where LeBron had a cakewalk every year. Come on, Shannon. He came out to the West, and what happened? They couldn't even make the playoffs.
You see what you do? You see what you do, Rob? He goes, it's the easy conference. Now, he didn't demand that the Lakers go get a second superstar like Kawhi did. I have not heard Rob Parker say one thing about Kawhi demanding a second superstar. I have not heard Rob Parker say one thing about Paul George demanding a trade just like AD did with 2 years left on his contract. But you see what you did there, Rob Parker? I'm starting to see. You're starting to let that old Skip, you've been around Skip so long, you're starting to rub off on him. You're starting to look just like him. Everything that LeBron does, yeah, y'all look alike. Look alike, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I know it is.
I don't
Everything everything that LeBron says or does is bad. But so when someone else does the exact same thing, Rob Parker, can you tell me the difference between what Kawhi did, telling the Clippers I need a second superstar in order for me to come, or Paul George going to Sam Presti saying I need you to trade me with 2 years left on my contract? Can you tell me the difference? And I say, you know what, Rob, you're right.
I get the old part about the adding another star, and nobody said LeBron shouldn't get. That was the plan, is that he was going to add another star to come with him. So that's nobody's
did.
against that. But what LeBron tries to do is stack the deck. He wanted Kawhi Leonard as well. He wanted 3 guys. That's what he did in Miami. He always wants the deck stacked, and he's the one who's created the imbalance in the NBA. The duos are great, Shannon.
Was the deck stacked in Golden State? Was the deck stacked in Boston?
Yes, but LeBron started it. LeBron is the one who did that and made Golden State decide that they wanted to add Kevin Durant.
So let me ask you a question. So Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish, and Dennis Johnson, that's not a stacked deck.
Do you know how they got those players, Shannon? You want me to give you a history lesson? You want to know about things called trades and drafting? It's totally different.
So in other words, as long as the team put it together, you can stack the deck. If the teams put it together.
No, but if I'm drafting well and I get these guys, it ain't the same as going and recruiting guys and creating an imbalance in the league. That's what we just had. The Warriors went to 5 straight NBA finals for the first time since the 50s.
Rob, it's different now. It's a